Hello everyone, it's History Behind the Warrior, and welcome back to yet another Mortal Kombat 1 video. With us still kind of coming off the high of that damn incredible story trailer. Today I wanted to focus on a particular topic that has kind of been a hot point of it ever since its reveal, and that is whether or not Liu Kang is evil. Now, I know to some of you, this could very well be seen as a surprise, because it's Liu Kang, right? The hero of Mortal Kombat, the main protagonist of the series, that has only recently came back to quite literally reclaim his crown. But even so, with that information in mind, is he truly the hero of this new era, or a ruthless tyrant of a god? Well, today we're going to be exploring that idea, and whether or not there is some truth behind this. With that said, where does this idea come from? Well, let's actually look at the trailer and listen to his monologue. It is time to wake up to a new reality, to a blank canvas that I have painted with warmth and peace. In my new era, the choice is yours, whether to live in quiet serenity or bloody strife, to dwell in joyous prosperity or bitter rivalry. You can face each other as sworn enemies or united as brothers, for the storm is brewing, and soon you will discover that even in this new era, one constant remains. There is always something worth fighting for. And then this is of course followed up by pretty haunting words. Then you have chosen war with a god. So pretty terrifying choice of words. But does that necessarily make him a villain? In my honest opinion, no. Out of context by itself, this very well could establish Liu Kang as a villain, or at the very least, a harsh enforcer of his will. But in context with the rest of the trailer, where Shang introduces Scorpion to his favourite movie, Face Off, Mileena to his favourite card game, Snap, Sub-Zero to his favourite theatre act, Stomp, and Katana to his favourite movie, Lights Out, I'd say that Liu's retaliation to basically turn him into quick and easy mashed potato is more than well deserved here. However, it can't be denied that the influence of evil Liu Kang doesn't exist here. So let's quickly look back at his timeline and see quite a few different instances where the Shaolin monk did lose his way. First off, this takes us to the events of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, where the Shaolin perished to the hands of Shang Tsung. During this game, his body and soul are separated, and thus do actually become completely separate entities, with Liu Kang's soul kind of being seen as the good in him, whilst his body, that would be resurrected by Dark Raiden, would embody his strength, power, and his skill, wandering aimlessly across Earthrealm, killing those that were unfortunate enough to ever cross his path. This plotline and idea would linger into Mortal Kombat Armageddon, but never truly reach its full conclusion due to the timeline reset in Mortal Kombat 9. During the reboot, things take a drastically different turn, with Liu instead perishing to the hands of Raiden after multiple bad decisions, creating friction between the two, even prior to his demise. So when Liu Kang becomes a revenant, the bitterness and malice that radiates from him feels far more natural and not misplaced. However, this is all kind of undone during the events of Mortal Kombat 11, where two timelines are merged together, and a much younger Liu Kang is forced to confront his older self, disgusted to see what he has become. So again, the idea of an evil Liu Kang has 1,000,000% existed, but I believe that this timequake was done for multiple reasons. You see, one of the biggest criticisms that 11 does have is how it did handle the Revenant storyline, as it was more or less resolved without being resolved, and I believe that bringing back Liu Kang was one of the main reasons to do this. You get to remove all of that baggage that he kind of accumulated from the Mortal Kombat 2 section onwards, and you get a version of the character that's actually far more in line with that of his original timeline counterpart from what we got from 9 onwards. Thus, we kind of create a perfect Liu Kang. So I think that the timequake was actually inserted to resolve and end the Revenant storyline, and then push this new Liu Kang to the forefront as the hero, a spot that he really does deserve. But there is one question that does need to be answered from Liu Kang, and that is, what happened to the Great Kung Lao ending? We all know that ending is real. It was pretty much the established status quo from Aftermath onwards. So it raises the question of what happened here. What caused Liu Kang to give up on his dream and create an entirely different world than what we saw at the end of Aftermath? Was it a rebellion? Possibly a retcon? Well, I think this all goes back to one character, and that's Shang Tsung here. As we can see with his unbelievably ominous portal. If my theory is right, and this is the same Shang Tsung that we saw at the end of Aftermath, then the somewhat Sorcerer Supreme has gained the ability to travel to other timelines and completely annihilate Liu Kang's world, possibly failing, but doing the damage that needs to be done in order to kill Liu Kang's dream. So this could very well mean that Shang Tsung has been going into every single one of Liu Kang's new forged timeline and killing these new worlds and heroes just to spite him. That is some reverse flash energy. And you know what? I actually kind of like this idea. Because if you really think about it, it is most certainly in line for Shang's character to make Liu's life a living hell, even if he may not be strong enough to kill the Fire God. If he's in possession of Kronika's crown, he could essentially reset himself every single time, like Geras. Thus, it creates a never-ending cycle, where Shang gets to terrorize Liu Kang without the fears of death. And going back to that monologue, a key phrase that I want to bring up and highlight is the phrase, "one constant." Again, tying back into that idea that Shang could very well possess the same immortality that Geras has. I know it's a lot of timey-wimey stuff, but in context with the new rule and establishment of multiverse timelines and canons, something like this really does work. And as we saw at the very end of Aftermath, the rivalry between Shang Tsung and Liu Kang quite literally transcends time itself. So again, it does make a lot of sense. However, I still don't believe that Shang Tsung is the true mastermind behind this all. Again, being a sub-boss, I think there's a particular Dragon King of sorts that can fit into the fold very, very well. But I will be touching on that topic a little bit later on this week, as it does deserve its own video. So with that said, and all of my ideas laid out, do I think Liu Kang is a villain here? No, not really. I'm not sure if villain is the right word for this. I think that after Liu Kang has become this god, a being of pure, sheer immortality, it has to come at a cost. And that might come in the form of Shang Tsung, a fellow immortal that forces him to relive and rewatch his dreams die with each and every timeline. Thus, the Shaolin has to make new worlds and timelines to get away from the Sorcerer. There's no denying that Liu Kang is pivotal going forward. He's quite literally the golden child at this point. But what I really want to see is how NetherRealm approaches godhood and how it impacts the story going forward. We're simply gonna have to wait and see. But I can't lie, I am very intrigued by this premise and the possible new attitude he may have going forward. But for now everyone, that has been it for me. And with us still on this topic, please down in the comments below, let me know what you think of an evil Liu Kang. Are you all for it? Or do you think that Liu Kang is finally in the place he needs to be? Please do comments down below, as I do really love to hear your opinions on this topic. But for now everyone, that has been it for me. So as always, stay strong, stay well, and keep on fighting, as we all eagerly await that Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay trailer coming out next week. Take care everyone, I'll see you all soon.